We've been talking for like 20 minutes anyway. We did like 2 segments of the episode already. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to big episode 190 of NerdPod Generations. As always, I am one of your illustrious hosts, Steve Taylor, along with the always lovely Al Judson. Hello, sir.
Hello, friends and enemies.
You know, I mentioned this to you. I was looking forward to this episode because we got a lot to talk about with Daredevil, but then I was sparked with a muse of...
Yes, something came along and bit you, apparently.
Well, it was... I was at my dad and stepmom this year turned 80 and 70.
Okay.
So yesterday, my brothers and I and my sisters threw a 150 party for them.
Okay.
And it was at Lovin' Cup, which is great. Yeah. Lovin' Cup's awesome. And I never really had food there. They did a great job. Their food was amazing. They had a flank steak with, we got it buffet style. So they had a big pan of flank steak covered with blue cheese and bacon. I ate so much of that shit.
Yeah, I bet.
And then they had a chicken cordon bleu fried little balls. Mm-hmm. I ate too much, and I could not fucking sleep. So my insomnia sparked this glorious thing that I cannot wait to talk about. But we are going to get into that, folks. We have a big show today. We have some Daredevil. We have some Zootopia. We have some Watch, Play, Read to talk about. We're going to be talking about some trailer stuff. Make sure, go to nerdpodgen.com. There is, it is our website. You will see lovely photos of both of us, which, I mean, don't eat lunch before you go to our website, but you will see our pictures. There are links on there to, right on the main page, there's a link to the most recent episode on Spotify. There's also links to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. There's also links to YouTube.com, where Al has been graciously uploading full and partial episodes of our show. So please, 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 if you go to any of those sites, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so that whenever we put up a new episode, like I see on my phone every time I upload it, bing, there it is. NerdPod Gen has a new show.
I will say, while you were having a great time out in Lovin' Cup, I was experiencing the joys of being over 35 years old, which is to say that I'll get into this later. I was messing around with some magic cards, and I had been looking through stuff for 20 minutes while kneeling on the floor, like you do. And then I stood up, and my body was like, we're 38 years old. You can't do that anymore. And so I passed out.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't even make it all the way up. I got up on, from a kneeling position, up all the way, like a good Catholic kneeling position.
Yeah.
And the blood rush was such that I almost passed out 3 times and ended up falling over. And so...
Oh, my God.
I have a nice big bruise across my chest. And it's just this is what they always say. You get to a certain point and your body's just like, yeah, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
That's just not a thing we do anymore now. So I'm okay. I didn't hurt anything.
I'll walk by fences and be like, man, I could leap that. And then I'm like, wait a second. No,
yeah,
I can't.
No,
I could 30 years ago, but I can't do it now.
Yeah, you do the math. You divide your age by the overall difficulty of the task you're doing. And that's going to come out with your quotient as to whether you're going to be capable of doing this thing.
And now that I am dealing directly with the healthcare industry, I totally understand that I'm not going to put my life in their hands.
Exactly.
In any way, shape, or form.
No.
All right, friends. I'm very excited about this. We are going to begin our episode like we do all episodes with what you've been watching, playing, reading. So I have a super quick shout out. I mentioned this to you already. My family and I, we were on the kick of watching the Rise of the Planet of the Apes movies. We watched the OG 3, and then the other day we watched Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I think it missed that character. Caesar. Not just Caesar. I like the characters. Noah and all. I like the characters. But there wasn't that one character that I was truly invested in.
Yeah.
As far as the apes go.
Caesar comes with baggage, and we're we know Caesar. We like Caesar. We've seen Caesar through his entire journey. So I agree. When we meet, it is Noah, right? Noah, the young monkey.
Is the young,
I like Noah.
He's good.
But
fine.
he feels like a Xerox 3 generations of Xerox copies of Caesar, where it's he is Caesar in a large way, and he has a bird, and I love the bird. The bird's great. But is he a dynamic, interesting character? Kind kinda, a little, not like Caesar was, but kinda. But then you meet like the orangutan, who I really like. You meet Nova, who I really like. And you just kind of get the sense of like, some of these other characters are more interesting. And you realize that Noah is more of a, what was Mr. Anderson? Neo.
Yeah.
And Harry Potter and Luke Skywalker. And these kind of like blank-faced protagonists where it's like there's no character there. So you can put your own self in their shoes. And it's like, okay, he can be everybody because he's so boring that he has no interesting characteristics. That comes down so hard. I like this movie.
No, I like it a lot.
I actually really like this movie.
And I think my only like real issues with it was, once again, I didn't have that like character I really connected with. I thought Proximus was okay as a villain.
Yeah.
I thought, the problem is you came from such good villains in the first three. That Proximus is fine.
Yeah.
But he's not on the Woody Harrelson level. He's not on Kubo.
I was about to say, like, he tries to be Kubo.
But he's not
Kubo.
No. And it's, I appreciate how he's like Kubo, but intellectual because he's been taught history of humanity.
He has that extra 30 years of evolution that now that's why all the apes can talk and not just some of the apes.
That's the other thing, is they said multiple generations, so I'm wondering how long. Because the fact that these apes really have no idea who Caesar was makes me think, has this been like 100 years?
It could be even longer,
years? Like, I'm not exactly sure how long it's been.
That is one of the things that I did like about this movie, was that it did finally get to the promised land of, hey, you remember the original Heston Planet of the Apes?
Yes.
This is a very close facsimile of the original Heston Planet of the Apes. We aren't at apes wearing clothes yet.
Yes.
But, like, we're getting there.
And that's why I'm hoping, I know this was successful.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping they're doing another one.
I think
because they left it open.
I think at this point the astronaut needs to land, right? By 5?
By
5, the astronaut needs to land.
I don't know quite yet, because they have to get the apes in close. And it looks like they're at least a couple generations from that happening.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe...
Do you think that Nova, i.e. Freya Allen, i.e. Siri, is actually going to stick around, or is that just a one-off kind of character?
I'm thinking she's a one-off bridge.
I think
because
so too.
I think for this to be successful, unlike the Caesar ones, they have to do time jumps.
Yeah.
They have to make a couple jumps to get to... Like, once they get to the apes wearing clothes, like the Planet of the Apes we know from the 60s, then they can do...
I think that we can make that jump from here. I think we've positioned ourselves on the checkerboard enough that we can make that jump from where we end in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes to the beginning of, what would it be... Dawn of the War of the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, or whatever it would be.
I don't know if there's enough adjectives.
I think that movie can start with the astronaut in space and landing on the planet, and us as an audience after this time jump, because I fully agree with you. I think the way that this moves from now on is through time jumps. And I don't know that we'll ever get to the end of the Burton movie. That would be crazy.
Oh, God.
If that was how the 6th one goes.
Wait, did you ever hear the Kevin Smith thing about that?
No.
He did a comic book series about Jay and Silent Bob, and this was before the Planet of the Apes came out, and he kind of had beef with Burton because of the Superman Lives thing.
Yeah, the giant spider.
He wrote one of his books. At the end, it was like in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, they have that scene where they're running from like Planet of the Apes, and the apes are chasing. Why can't I think of the clerks' names?
Dante and Randall.
Randall, and in the comic, they had that scene, and it ended with them at the Lincoln Memorial, and they had replaced Lincoln's head with a ape's head.
Yeah.
And then when the movie came out,
that was what they
Kevin
did.
Smith was like, holy fuck, he stole that from my comic book. And he had a friend who worked for media that put that in a newspaper article, and Burton was pissed. He goes, I would never read his fucking shit. And he's like, well, how do you have the same fucking ending that I have in my comic book?
A little suspect.
A little sus right there, yeah. So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, no, that's one of those things in Hollywood they hear about all the time.
Yeah.
I used to be paranoid about that when I was like young and apple-eyed and thinking like, I can send a script through the mail. Oh my God, what if my ideas are stolen and I never see any money for this?
Yeah.
And it's like, these were the concerns I had. And it's like, it's never going to happen.
No,
Don't even worry about it.
But my only other problem is they overly prophesized the birds attacking Proxima.
Yeah.
Like, the whole movie's the birds. And it's like, okay.
When is this going to come
They're going to
up?
fucking... they're going to kill... And sure as shit,
Yeah.
spoilers, friends, they killed Proxima. And you're like, oh, I fucking knew that.
They keep walking past Chekhov's gun and stopping and being like, and here is Chekhov's gun. And then they walk on.
Yeah.
And then 20 minutes later, they come back and they're like, oh, and here is Chekhov's gun. And then they walk on. You're like, yeah, this is definitely coming up.
And as much as I don't think people are intentionally stealing story beats from Avatar because the story sucks so bad, them hunting for the eggs was very similar to the... I
barely
Na'vi.
Remember this, yeah.
Yeah, the Na'vi climbing and trying to get their and it's like, okay. But overall, still very good.
I still like it. I still like that there's no humans involved in that part of it. It's just apes. You know, it's not one of those stories where... Like Avatar, there's a human facsimile involved in learning and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, no, it's like this is a rite of passage for apes of this age to do this thing, and then they have to accomplish it in order to do this other thing, in order to move up the ranks in the clan, and if you can't, then you have to wait a year. I found all that really interesting. Like, all of the building of the cultures, even when they reveal that the humans are worshipping a nuclear bomb, like, even that doesn't come off as cheesy as it did in the original, where you're like, yeah, okay. Here, I'll buy it.
See, I just wish, though, they would have explained more, because you have some humans that are like Neanderthals. Like, they don't speak, they're like cavemen, and then you have some that are just normal.
Yeah.
And it's like, they
have like a throwaway line
a
about
little
it.
bit, yeah, but it's like, I don't understand how you have that broad a dynamic between humans.
There's a genetic mutation, and so the virus affects some humans differently than it does others.
I think that was shitty writing to get Frey Allen to be able to speak.
I think that's exactly what it was that we wanted Nova to talk in this movie, even though that's the opposite of the point of Nova. Like, it's especially funny. I love one moment in this movie that works well based off of the other movies, but at the same time it does show the distance from the other movies, which is, I love when... I can't remember what the orangutan teacher's name is. Yeah, but he calls her Nova. And he's like, we call them all Nova. And it's like, oh, okay, that's great. And then she starts talking. You're like, God damn it.
Yep.
God damn it. We had it right last time where you had the little girl and she's meeting Maurice and he is teaching her. And he calls her Nova because he found her in the trunk of a Chevy Nova. And you're like, this works. And then the guy here says we called them all Nova. And you're like, that's great. And then she starts talking. You're like, we were so close. Mm-hmm. You were so close. And then you had to talk.
Yeah.
You just, like a superhero who has to take their mask off. And you're just like, why did you take this gig? You knew your face was going to be covered. You knew your voice was going to be covered. You knew you weren't going to talk. If you didn't feel comfortable with that, then don't take the job.
Yeah. No,
I blame it on Frey Allen. It's probably not her fault. It's probably the studios, but still.
I gotta say, I am happy. One of the main reasons I was happy I watched this movie was I love the Corridor Crew.
Yeah.
And they talked about... So, folks, those of you who don't know, the Corridor Crew are these VFX guys in Hollywood, and they do a YouTube show where they go over movies and explain how things are done and criticize and critique. When they talked about this movie and that scene where the orangutan falls in the water and the fur... and they're like, that is the most difficult thing I've ever... And that really was incredible.
They're, like, on the floor.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Crawling up to the TV, like, how did they do it?
I don't... Because there were some scenes of the CGI in this that I thought weren't great.
Yeah.
But that scene was fucking mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Like, watching him in the water with the... I was just blown away.
Yeah, so good.
Okay.
So, what's the thing?
So, there is a director who has had a very hit-or-miss career. I would say his early career was the hit, and that is Luc Besson.
Okay.
He had Leon the Professional, La Femme Nikita, The Fifth Element.
Can I guess what you watched?
No. I want to do the unveiling.
Okay.
So, these were all great movies. He hasn't really done anything since. Mm-hmm. He made a movie last year.
Oh.
That I was curious about.
See, I thought you were going to talk about Lucy.
No.
I thought you'd watch Lucy.
No, Lucy was terrible.
I thought you'd watch Lucy in the middle of the night, and you were like, wow, this changes my perspective of it.
No, I already watched Lucy, and fucking... I like Scarlett Johansson. She was terrible in that fucking movie.
I will say, really quick, Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets.
It's okay.
I like that movie a lot.
I thought it was okay.
I thought that movie was really, really good.
I think it was... I think it got shit on more than it should have.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made a movie last year called Dracula.
Oh, this Dracula.
And I was curious. I have been curious because it has Christoph Waltz, who I love.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Luc Besson, he's a solid director. Score by Danny Elfman. It's the worst fucking movie I've ever seen in my fucking life. It is so bad! Okay, so Caleb Landry Jones, a.k.a. Banshee, from the X-Men
A.k.a.
First
Clayface.
Class. Clayface. He plays Dracula.
Yeah.
So they took Bram Stoker's Dracula and they're like, how much can we steal from this? But then change things. Holy fuck, Al. This movie was so bad. So it starts with Vlad and his wife, and they're just fucking away. You don't see any nudity or anything like that. You know, it's just them in their big baggy, like, dressing gowns, and they're all fucking around, fucking. And his generals, like, come in the room, like, time to go, my liege! And they're, like, putting him in his armor. And they would put on, like, one piece of his armor. And now, mind you, he just had his wife against the wall plowing her. Mm-hmm. And they barge in. And they're like, come on. And they put a piece of his armor on. He goes over and starts making out with his wife. And they pull him back. Put a piece of his armor on. Goes over and makes out with his wife. And, like, I'm watching this, like, what the fuck am I watching? And it was fucking insane.
But they're so in love, Steven.
The writing was horrific. The directing was horrible. I looked at Christoph Waltz and I'm like, oh, this is your Ben Kingsley Blood Rain movie. I don't know if you remember him in that awful fucking... This was his, Christoph Waltz's.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it going, okay, they absolutely stole the Gary Oldman look as the old Dracula. They just tweaked it. But they absolutely fucking stole the look. There was even a Danny Elfman, one of the scores was very, like, you could tell it was the Bram Stoker, like the ominous song from Bram Stoker. I don't know if you could picture it.
Yeah.
It had hints of that, and then it went to something else.
Well, I mean, the costuming alone. Like, if you look at any scene of this, it looks like Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Dude.
Like the big top hat, the big glasses, the velvet gloves.
As I'm watching this, all I could think about was your critique on What's-His-Nuts playing Adam Warlock.
Oh, yeah. Will, the guy with the stupid face that people say is attractive. And I'm like, if you say so.
Yes. Caleb Landry Jones.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, does not pull off Dracula. Does not pull off this suave Moldavian prince who's like... Every woman fawns over, and I'm like, no fucking way. I am sorry. His acting sucked. He's fucking ugly as shit, and I'm not attractive, so I can say it. Fucking ugly as shit to play this suave character. And I'm watching this. Al, I can't even stress to you the way he controls people.
The thrall.
Is he creates a perfume.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That when he puts the perfume on, it drives people insane and they like are attracted, like they come running to him. So the Jonathan Harker character is fucking terrible. I don't know who who hired this guy first off, which I'm going to have to look up this guy's name.
Let me grab it for
you. Ewans Abid, I think his name is. Yeah, Ewans Abid. He's fucking terrible.
Uh-huh.
And he has no charisma. He has no, he doesn't play fear at all. Instead of brides in the castle, Dracula has tiny gargoyles that are in charge of running the castle and, making sure Jonathan doesn't escape. And you find out at the end, and I'm going to spoil the shit out of this because no one should watch this fucking movie.
Yeah.
After Dracula dies at the end, the tiny gargoyles... They turn into these small children who are pale and bald, and they come walking out of the castle looking around. I'm like, what the fuck am I I was so blown away by this. But the perfume thing, when they're following along with everything. Mm-hmm. So when Dracula's like, all right, I need to go to London. I think they changed it actually to Paris. I don't think it's London. I think it's Paris. He's like, oh, I need blood. So he goes to a nunnery.
Okay.
And he gets invited in because he pretends to be an old man. He puts the perfume on, and all these nuns are like, they're rushing towards him, but then they're pulling back because they know he's evil.
God,
but then they're rushing towards him,
of Jesus.
and then he's like, and they're all around him, and he's like,
I'm just looking at photos of this movie. It looks so bad.
Holy fuck. And then it goes right from him in the nunnery to being in Paris. Like, it's almost like that was just the next scene. They're like, oh, he's in Paris now.
And now he got his thing at the nunnery and he's moved on. Yeah, the writers for this are listed as Luc Besson and Bram Stoker.
Yeah.
So I think that tells you exactly what kind of movie this is. This is a bad remake of a bad Francis Ford Coppola movie.
Mina, the Zoe Blow, or how do you say her name? She's awful.
Yeah.
I've not seen her in anything else. She's not fucking good. When you would say I would rather have Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder, you know how bad this fucking was.
That was going to be my next question, was on a scale of Winona Ryder to Keanu Reeves, how were the English accents?
I mean, they didn't have English accents.
Yeah.
They were just fucking bad.
Yeah.
But, like, I would rather look at Keanu Reeves giving a bad accent than look at these fucks trying to do this thing.
God, early 90s Keanu Reeves, when he was still trying to be a classic actor before he found his footing of, I'm who I am, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
It's hilarious watching him try really, really hard to leave Ted Theodore Logan in the rear view and try and be the guy from My Own Private Idaho all the time. And it's just like, he can do it. This is not me criticizing Keanu Reeves, but like this, Dracula, I love his Much Ado About Nothing, but him in Much Ado About Nothing. Like, there are some roles
very
that it's just
great,
like,
underrated movie, by the way, Much Ado About Nothing.
Amazing movie.
And the cast is insanity.
But that just makes his performance stand out all the more because he is so clearly outcast by people like Robert Sean Leonard. And you're like, you're getting acted by by fucking House's assistant on House.
Yeah.
Like, you've fallen so far behind in this cast.
Way far behind.
Like, even Michael Keaton, despite having an entirely different role, way outpasses Keanu Reeves in that movie.
Oh, by far. The only person I will give the slightest credit to in this is Matilda De Angelis, who plays Maria, which is their version of Lucy.
Okay.
In this.
Oh, I know this woman.
She does... Now, once again, she has horrible dialogue, horrible directing.
Yeah.
She does a good job. She plays a very fun, charismatic... She plays the ominous part well as the, when she's been turned type of thing.
Yeah.
See, and here's the other thing. Instead of him having a Renfield... Dracula decided throughout all of his years trying to find his Mina, Elisabetta, they show him in this montage going to like different countries and different events and different, aristocrats, and he ends up going to this party in France, and they're just the worst people, and they kind of are making fun of him. So he puts on his shit and just bites them all. Because he decides he wants to create an army to try to help him find her.
And now we have moved away from Bram Stoker's
and
Dracula.
That's what this Maria is. She was at that party. And so now she's an undead. Instead of being, no, he's in London now and he's going to feed on her to try to get her. No, she's been a vampire for centuries. I think they say at one point she's 100 and some odd, 135 years old or something like that. So she's been a vampire forever. And she's just been searching for fucking Elisabetta. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking...
This is the worst version of Castlevania I've ever heard.
This is the worst version of... I have seen some really bad Dracula movies. This might be the worst one.
Like, can you imagine if in Castlevania, instead of mowing the entirety of Wallachia to the ground, he sent out all of these creatures to go and find Lisa? And it's like, I just need to find her. And it's like, well, I can almost guarantee you she's dead. Like, there's no way she's not dead.
But then, like, unlike Bram Stoker's, they played it too well that before he bit Mina, she was having these solid memories of being Elisabetta. And so she was... she even said at one point to Maria, I don't really love I love Jonathan, but I just don't feel right with him.
Like some kind of reincarnation bullshit.
Exactly. And then he bites her, and she's 1,000% on board.
Yeah.
And she's like, yep, let's live eternity together. you and me, you've been looking for me for 400 fucking years. And then Christoph Waltz, who's not Van Helsing, he is the priest. That's his fucking name in this movie. And they took Hugh Jackman's Van Helsing character.
Oh, no.
And they made him pretty much.
No.
Because all he does is he carries around this kit of vampire killing kit. And he gets called to these sightings of vampires. And he decides, all right, this is what we gotta do. Blah, blah, blah. And then when it's done, he just fucking leaves. Oh my god, my brain is hurting from fucking remembering this movie. He is fucking terrible.
Yeah. No, I look at this cast, I look at all the images, I listen to everything you say, and I'm just like, I see the pacing and plotting of this movie in front of me. And the problems of it all seem to be arranged around this idea of like, this is Bram Stoker's Dracula, but we're not going to make it interesting. But we are going to update it, but the updates aren't going to make sense. But the third act is going to be completely different, but the new third act doesn't work within the arrangement of the story.
And this is, to finish that story beat I was going on, so it gets to the point where Van Helsing and the fucking Foreign Legion or something show up to Dracula's castle, and Dracula kills all of them, and he's going to save Elizabeth. I'm just going to call her Mina. The priest, all he does is say, you're damning her for life. And he's like, you're right.
What?
You're right. Just stab me.
I didn't know that.
And it's like, at least Bram Stoker's Dracula, for Francis Ford Coppola one, after Dracula dies, she's sad but kind of goes back to Jonathan. It's like, oh my god, I'm so happy. Mm-hmm. This ends with her cradling the dust and bones of what was Dracula and fucking not even giving a shit about Jonathan. And it's like, she's probably going to kill herself.
Well, she had already been turned too, right?
But because he was killed, she went back to being human.
It doesn't matter.
That's the trope they did, is, if you kill the lead vampire, all the other vampires go back to human.
But in the eyes of the church, once a vampire, always a vampire. It doesn't matter if you got magically saved.
Dude.
You are still responsible for the sins taken upon you and by your creator.
Yeah.
So her soul's already damned to hell.
Well, that's the thing. Her and Jonathan really don't believe in God.
Oh, there you go. That'll help.
So they made him like, the thing you see all the time, 15th century atheists.
Yeah.
That fucking never fucking happened.
They definitely didn't have any fear of God in them. No.
Dude. This, I have to put this, because of how serious they took this movie.
Yeah.
And you could tell that they were not tongue-in-cheek at all. This might be in my top 10 of worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. That's how fucking bad this is. Mm-hmm. It has no redeeming qualities. The set design is awful. Costuming is awful. Danny Elfman, I love you. The music sucked.
He's past his prime. I'm looking at pictures of him. He doesn't look good.
No, he kind of looks like Carrot Top.
And
after the steroids.
Some of the things I've heard, not great.
Yeah.
The reviews on Danny Elfman as a human, not stellar.
Yeah.
Not great.
It's like, dude, you made your money. Just fucking go
I think
off.
it's time to just fade into the background.
Yeah, you're not John Williams. You can't be making.
You don't need to keep on
90s.
making stuff. You're good. You're good. Also, we've all heard every Danny Elfman song there will ever be because they all are one variation of something.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, okay, I'm good. I'm not trying to badmouth Danny Elfman. I love Danny Elfman. But like, when your time's done, and it's time to walk to the back of the room and just, have a quiet life alone in the Hollywood Hills. You probably have horses. Raise your horses. I don't fucking know. Raise your fucking keyboards that you build. I don't fucking know. Whatever you do in your spare time.
I've been waiting to talk about this movie since last.
It's not good.
I can't stress enough. And what I would say is, if this is ever streaming and you don't have to pay for it, like, I rented it.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, I'm so fucking tired. I can't sleep. I have to watch something. And forever, this has been like a $30 rental. Finally went down. I did rent it for $10. But listen, though. There are times, even a bad movie, I'm happy I spent $10 on
I'll take your word for it.
Because I will tell this tale for years.
Yeah.
There are movies I spent far more on to see in a theater that are not bad, but I just forget the next day. Yeah. I will never forget this movie.
Oh, yeah.
There's something, if anyone does end up watching this abomination, please pay attention to this. Anytime Dracula has a wine glass, before he doesn't even really drink. I don't think he ever drinks out of a glass. He dips a finger in it and licks his finger. Every fucking time.
Again,
every time, Al!
You can always tell a bad script by the amount of affectations that actors include because there's nothing for them to do. The writing is bad, and the direction is bad, and there's nothing for them to do, and so you come up with these weird, wacky affectations.
And I almost forgot the Elizabetha death scene. Isn't, the romantic one from Bram Stoker's where she leaps to her death because she finds out he's died? No. For some reason, he tells her when he's going off to fight the Turks, you need to go to my other castle. Some of my troops will take you just so you're extra safe. So they're all riding, and of course, the Turks ambush them. So they're far away. Dracula's in a battle. The battle ends, and he's like, something's not right.
My blood magic tells me.
So he gets on his horse, and reminiscent to, if you think about the scene in the Chronicles of Narnia when they're running away from Santa Claus, not knowing it's Santa Claus, and it's in that big open, she's riding away from the Turks in this big open snowy area, and there's, for some reason, there are bear traps everywhere under the snow.
Okay.
And so, like, her horse just missed one. Oh my god, is her horse gonna hit one? He just went. Oh, her horse hit a bear trap. Oh my god. So she falls up. The Turks all get off their horses. They start walking towards her. And sure as shit, Dracula catches up.
Yeah.
And is able to kill 3 of them. And one of them is standing in front of Mina with his back to Dracula.
And he's already killed her.
And Dracula throws a sword to kill him. And of course, the sword goes through him
and hits Mina.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So Dracula's actually the one that killed her. So it's not really that he can blame God, because of course he says, God protect my wife. You're the one that fucking killed her. It's not like in the other one where she actually kills herself because she hears you've died.
Also, what is this bullshit of Dracula being a papist? Like, what are we talking about? Why would Dracula have any fear of God? The entire story of Dracula is literally that he pals with the devil.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I like this guy more than God. That's what I love about Castlevania, is as a person who watched the horrors of the Roman Catholic Church, watching just priests get comeuppance in Castlevania is one of the most...
That's still the best character.
Oh, God. And so, like, the idea of Dracula being worried about his standing in the eyes of God, or praying to God for safety for others, that's crazy.
Dude,
that's bonkers. What is
insane.
That?
And the way they showed, he calls himself Prince Vlad, but right away he refers to himself as Count Dracula.
Yeah.
Right away.
Prince outranks Count though, right?
Yeah. And when the way they showed that he's an impaler is after they kill the Turk army, there's this dramatic scene where there's like the Turk base camp where the Sultan is. And for some reason it's daylight there. But at the top of the mountain that the Turks are looking at, it's like dark with this orange glow behind it. And Dracula and his soldiers come up to the top of the hill, and they have spears with the heads on them. And that shows the impaling.
I'm just saying, again, if you go to Season 3 of Castlevania, the moment when Alucard has taken his 2 lovers who tried to kill him, spoiler warning, and mounted them in the style of his father.
Yep.
And then you come back at the beginning of Season 4 and there are just more bodies, and you're just like, this tells a huge story.
Yep.
But we're not going to do that. We're going to do the French version of a Hollywood version of a bad Dracula story.
So I could talk about this movie forever. I don't want to. I want to move on.
You want to wash.
I am so glad I got this off my chest, though.
Yeah.
Because I have no one to talk to about this, really. And it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
When I finished it last night, I really wish that I could have slept.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is so fucking bad.
That's the worst, is when you put something on and you're like, this will help, and then you end up with more energy than when you put it on. And you're like, well, I was going to go to sleep, but I guess not anymore.
But once again, I'll never forget this movie.
No. I mean, how could you? It's been seared into your brain.
Yes.